Welcome. In front of me I have the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and today I'll show you a couple tweaks and the tricks you can do on this device. Now when it comes down to Apple, they usually add a lot of things between the generational iOS upgrades, but they're usually hard to find, at least to me. So this is a list that I found that I find also very useful, and let's just get straight into it. So first we have the flashlight. Now this is going to be this one very simple, but there is a neat change to it. So let's just swipe down right here, get to our control center, and you have the flashlight, and when you enable it you have this weird looking thing. So what this allows you to do now is actually make it so you can alter the brightness of it, which is kind of barely visible. You can see that better, and then you can do it up and down, and then when you do it to the left and right, there we go, it kind of changes the angle of it. Now I'm not sure, I haven't tested it out in darkness how well it works, but if I'm correct, it just kind of looked in a bit of a darker area, it looked like it's just making the flashlight the same brightness, but it's just kind of trying to diffuse the light a little bit more. So that's the difference compared to kind of like a, let's call this a lightsaber almost setting. It's trying to be more directional, and you can kind of see that right hopefully here. So yeah, a neat option nonetheless that basically no other device has. Now moving on into the next one is the theming of your home screen. So Apple finally added the ability for you to just kind of change the appearances of it and stuff like that. So you can obviously utilize that. And the way you do it is hold your finger on the empty space on the home screen, and here you have the edit button. Just gonna simply click on it, and you're gonna select customize. And in here we have the several different ways you can customize it. So we have light dark mode. As you can see, this changes the appearance of some icons, but then we also have the automatic, and we have the tinted. So this, instead of going from light to dark icons, it allows you to choose what the color of them will be. You can see you can pick anything. Now this is as best as you can theme your device at the moment here. It's still far away from what jailbreaking allowed you to do back in the day. So Apple is still a little bit behind, but hey, they're at least trying to catch up finally. So there we go. And next one would be the control center. Again, though before I showed an icon, now it changed a bit. So now you can swipe up and go to your music player, swipe up again and go to your toggles. Additionally, you can also, by holding the empty space, edit or go into the editing mode and resize some of the toggles right here, delete them if you don't want some of those, and add more right here. So maybe I want to have this be a bit bigger. Let's see if I actually can. Where did I just re-add that? Come on, there we go. Now it looks like I have encountered some bug in here. Yep, that is definitely, oh, there we go, a bug. So yeah, this seems to be a little bit iffy right now. So I'm just gonna keep it as it is. But you can obviously resize them. You've seen that for a brief moment, but other than that, it does kind of glitch out a bit. So anyway, going on into another option with the home screen here. Nowadays you can actually move around your icons, and they don't need to be basically in order like they used to be. So you can, for instance, grab something like settings, which already is out of place, and drag it anywhere you want, and you can do that to basically every other icon. So you can arrange them in whatever way you want, which is obviously a pretty nice option to have if you like customizing the device and icons to be positioned just exactly where you want them. Maybe you like to put some shapes to it. And in the edit, we also have the option to use large icons or small one. The default one is the small one. Now continuing on, let's now talk about the new feature, the button that is on the side. So now you can tap on it to launch camera quickly. There we go. And then you have several different things that you can do with it. So you can swipe from left to right. Come on. There we go. By putting a little bit of force behind it, you can then adjust the zoom level. You can also double press it now, not fully though. So you have the haptic feedback. You just kind of like put a little bit of force in it, but you don't want to click it. And it gives you the haptic feedback and gives you the couple options like depth right here, exposure, zoom, camera, style, tones. Now these are also two new things that you can test around, which are kind of like filters, but give you much more control over them. Now I'm not camera expert, so I'm not really going to go into it, but something that you can mess around with if you like to tinker with your camera. Now additionally, also with that button, you can press it fully to capture a photo which just got captured, or you can hold it. And as long as you're holding it, it will record a video. So there we go, you can see it right now. So there we go. So that's pretty neat for the button. And genuinely, I tend to rag on iPhones. I'm not the biggest fan of them. But this button, honestly, even though it's kind of iterating on the previous idea of fingerprint sensors on the Androids that would be able to do this, this is designed strictly for camera. Right now we don't have any kind of option to alter what it does apart from controlling the camera, but maybe in the future Apple will give that ability to us, though I highly doubt it. Apple isn't about giving options. So at the moment it basically does this, and like I said, it's something that I experienced a long time ago with the fingerprint sensors on Androids. Now, one thing that I want to kind of talk about here with the button, I'm not sure why this also doesn't double as a fingerprint sensor, as this would have been a nice implementation of it. Might be a little bit out of the way, but you can still kind of like relatively easy kind of click on it. So it's not that bad. It would have been a nice way to also unlock the device. Anyway, continuing on, we have the action button, so the other one on here. Previously, obviously, that was the silent and stuff like that, and still is. So if you press and hold it, you can see we have silent right now. If I hold it again, it's a ring. But we also have the ability to actually change what it does. Unlike the previous switch that we used to have, this gives us more versatility. So we can navigate into the settings right here. Just close that. And scrolling down, we'll have the action button right over here. You can click on it and scroll through different things that it can do. So we have the silent mode, then we have the basically do not disturb mode or focus, camera, which that's kind of useless nowadays as you have obviously the dedicated camera button right there, torch, voice memo, a very cool one, which is the Shazam. That's probably something that I would be utilizing quite often, and that's what I would be using by default. Then we have translation. That might be good if you're going overseas to country that you don't actually speak the language of. Handy to have that as an action button, and obviously you can later on change that back. Then we have magnification, controls, and a bunch of other things like shortcuts. So this is actually a pretty neat one. You can choose a shortcut, and you have a bunch of things to choose from, applications and functions. So for instance, you can set it up so it launches flashlight. If that is something that you use quite often, you can enable it right here, though. Let's see if I can quickly find it. Here's magnification, reminder. I can't find it. Oops. I'm pretty sure you should be able to add a flashlight torch in here, but like you can see, I don't see it here. Not sure what's happening. But anyway, let's just move on. So another and honestly last thing that I wanted to show you will be the most useful and the one that I'm honestly jealous as an Android user. So in Safari now, when you open it up, I specifically opened our website as it's not the cleanest looking one. You can see a bunch of trash right here. So anyway, what you can do now with such a extensively monetized websites with ads, you can click right here on this weird icon. I don't even know how to describe it. This one. And what it gives you is the show reader. This just gets rid of literally everything that isn't text. And right here you can see you get congested info of basically the site, getting rid of all the ads and any text that you might have confused with the website text, but it in reality was just an ad. And yeah, you can just quickly read it. Pretty nice. And additionally, if you have some websites that you might be spending a little bit more time on, but you just don't want to see the ads themselves, you can get rid of them manually. Not as handy, but still pretty cool option. So here we have hide distracting items, and what I can do is just click, for instance, on this garbage play ad. Boom, hide. It just gets Thanos snapped out of existence. Another ad for some coffee makers. Boom, Thanos snapped. And you can see I got rid of basically everything. Oh, there we go. Found you one more. Thanos snapped. Cool. Done. Alright, there's also this annoying one, so let's get rid of that. Hide. And these ones are the most annoying as they always stay on your screen no matter how much you scroll. So yeah, bon voyage, shitty application. There's some more, but they're at the bottom, so I won't even bother. As you get the point of what I'm trying to demonstrate right here. It's a very quick and easy way to get rid of annoying, frustrating ads. And this actually could or might be even used for getting rid of all the like confirmed cookie bullshit and stuff like that. I haven't tested it out actually. But if it can be done for this, or any kind of like, for instance, news websites, I think one of the like New York Times has some kind of pop-up that you can either subscribe to it to see the article, some bullshit like that. Yeah, you can kind of Thanos snap that pop-up that is blocking the entire screen. So yeah, that's obviously adding some nice functions to the device, and something that, as a person that browses web quite often and frequently, that is an amazing feature that I recommend getting used to using. And I really hope that Apple expands on this, as it's just really nice. So anyway, with that being said, hopefully you found this video helpful, fun, informative, and if you did, don't forget to smash like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.